Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Load the same dataset, guys. The one which we were working on yesterday, na? Try to load the same one. We'll continue working on this one itself. In operator, and after this, like operator also will try to code.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Harshita.
How many more classes, sir, will finish Python?
Okay, you wanted to end quickly, or you wanted
No,
to get?
not quickly, sir. I just wanted to know, like, one more month or like how,
No,
sir?
no. Not one more month. I think maximum what it might take this week. I should have covered pandas, but again, I think I might cover pandas on the next Saturday. Okay, and then matplotlib and Seaborn, one class. So basically, I think next week or maximum if we take, right? So next week Saturday I might take. That's it.
So after that one class, can we keep for the revision, sir? If you don't mind, if you can give us that time.
Yep. That
Thank you,
depends
sir.
on Abhishek and everybody. Let's see, but I will try to check with them.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sure, done. Okay. So everybody load the same data set, guys. Okay, let me know once done, then I'll proceed. Same one which we are working on.
Sir, can you ping that file to me in the chat?
Yeah, I have pasted it, but again, let me fetch it
No,
again now.
not code, that file, city byte.
This data set file?
Yeah, datasets.
Uh, Remember yesterday from the drive link, you need to download this, all the CSV files. Wait, I think I have the drive link.
Okay.
1 second. Drive link yesterday. This one, wait 1 second. Huh? Yeah, I'm sharing the drive link in the chat box. So you have this dataset folder over here. You just download this and unzip it. Done. Okay. So let us go ahead and let us start our today's topic, guys. Okay. So where did we stop yesterday? We were into filtering the data, correct? Yesterday, right? So we were saying how do we filter the data. Okay. Just a quick recap before we start our today's again, right? So just a quick recap. Okay. Hold on. Let's do a simple query and then we might we might recall the things and then again we'll start. Okay, so this is the data, right? What filter can we do? Okay, so I want to extract. Okay, so just a quick recap, guys. I know it is simple, but again, so that we come back to the same place where we were yesterday, right? So select star from this particular table. This query I'll write down SQL query. You need to convert that into a Python syntax, Pandas syntax. Done. Okay, so select star from this particular table where your end station name or else your trip duration. Okay, very simple condition. Trip duration is less than 500. Simple. Extract me the data where the trip duration is less than 500. That's it. No, I think this is just a minute. Just a minute. I'll change this condition. So instead of this one, extract me the data where the start station name. Where okay, this condition and second condition is this particular data can be in your that is our this value. I'll share you this values as well, and then new port path. That's it. Okay, so help me to extract the data which satisfies this condition. Anyone here who did not attend yesterday's class? No one, right? Okay. Perfect, Vinayaka. Others, quickly try it out, guys. And one more thing, do not simply sit idle in this classes, guys, because now the syntax might look simple, but again, when you're working on it, only then you'll face all these issues. Yes, Ashwin, perfect. Krishna, correct. Okay, let me also do this until then. So how do we do it, right? So df of condition 1 and condition 2, correct? So then again in condition 1, what is the condition? That is trip duration is less than trip duration is over here, that is less than 500 and 500, and then let's say over here that is df of start station name. Do we have any data over here which is the condition is equals to, that is this value, that is this value. Okay, and second condition inside this one is basically what? So we saw this or another condition, right? So or, that is or is this symbol and then again this symbol, right? So then again I'll just copy this one and change the value. Over here, this is going to be the second value. Okay, so this is condition 1, and inside this we did have an inner condition that is going to be this one, right? So if I run this code out, we have some data. If we see, yes, we are able to see the data like this, that is meeting our condition over there, right? So awesome. Okay, any questions in this syntax? Anyone has any questions in this syntax? No, right? Okay. Now, one question which we had, right? So there is a problem in this particular syntax. What is the problem? So in our SQL queries and all, what do we have? We have an in operator. The advantage of having an in operator is basically, let's say over here, if I want to include one more value, so comma xyz, I can just go ahead and I can execute it. But here that is not that simple, right? So again here I need to again copy this particular condition, then again write down or and again write down, right? So it becomes a little complicated over here. What if we have an in operator in case of Python? Okay, so in case of Pandas, what if there was an in operator? Okay, so is there actually present or not present? The answer is yes, it is actually present. There are two syntaxes where you can use the in operator. Okay, now everybody stop working and please focus on my screen. Syntax 1. Okay, so syntax 1. Okay, I'm talking about syntax 1. There are actually two methods where you can actually use this one, right? This is syntax 1 which I'm talking about. What you can do is this particular code. Okay, so this particular code, I'll delete this one. Oh, here. Okay, now this particular code, so what I can easily do over here is, yes, in pandas also there is an in operator. Let me get rid of this over here for now. Okay, These two things. Okay. So in Pandas also, yes, there is an in operator. What? How do we have it? So it is something like this: df of that particular column name dot is in, and here you can pass n number of values. So let's say over here I need to pass what, that is this one, and I wanted to even extract the data which is matching the second value as well, right? So here you can go ahead and you can use this particular syntax, and you'll be able to filter out the same data, right? So the only change over here is what we are using, something called as is in operator. Okay, so this is our pandas operator. Okay, this is syntax one. Instead of this, okay, so instead of this, yes, there is one more syntax which you can actually use, but try not to use this syntax because it is, they started to develop, then what happened is, then everything got messed up and they stopped working on it, right? So basically this is an incomplete function which we have in pandas, right? So you can also do one more thing, that is there is something called as query option over here. Okay, so this code, okay, so this particular code, okay, so this particular code you can also write down in a query. Okay, so I'll do one thing, I'll create one Python list for this particular filter. That is what, that is for this one. Okay, so let me just create a Python list. Okay, now df dot query is a function which you can actually use to do this one, guys. Okay, but again this is problematic, this has bugs over here. Okay, now how do we write down a query over here? So it is something like this. Okay, so the bug is what, you can write down a single line query, you cannot write down conditions in multiple lines. That is what you need to remember this point. Okay, so how do we replicate this in this filter in the query function? Okay, so it is something like this, right? So extract the data where the df of this particular column, that is trip duration, is less than 500, is less than 500. This is condition one, right? So this is our condition one. Okay, now this query follows which functions, our SQL functions. Okay, so here you can go ahead and you can use and, you can also use or, you can also use in over here directly, guys. Okay, this is possible. Now this is condition one, and the condition two is basically what I wanted to extract my data with the stat station name. Okay, with the stat station name. Now notice I'm not passing df of column name, I'm just providing the column names. Now there is an issue. The issue is what, this particular column name contains spaces in between. Notice, so it contains spaces in between, right? So one question, anybody who has worked in SQL, how do we put filter condition on this type of column which has spaces? Select this particular column means, how do we do it? Select this column from that particular table, but this particular column has spaces in between. How do we resolve this in SQL? Anyone?
Brackets, sir. Brackets, square brackets.
Wrong. No.
Or underscore. Underscore.
Have you guys used backticks like this?
No.
Anyone? Yeah, bracket also. I think this is supported in our legacy SQLs, but I'm not sure. Right, so we use this backticks in for the column name, right? So if the same backticks, you can go ahead and you can use it over here. Okay. Now stat station name in over here. Now, okay. Now in what I will pass is the above Python list. What it is there, I'll just write down it into a format string and then provide this particular list over here. Now run this code out. Whatever data which we were able to filter over here, the same data you can actually filter using this syntax as well. Okay, but the disadvantage is also present. I told, right, there is a bug over here. The bug is you can write down a single line query like this. Also, if you write down, it will throw an error. See, I'm just same thing. I'm just writing down the query in a different line. It will throw an error. Okay, it will not allow you to do it. So multi-line expressions are not at all allowed. Okay, so you have to, whatever conditions, you need to write it down into a single line. That is one thing which you need to remember. Okay, so you can also use the query function as well. So the for the in operator, right? So you can use this syntax or the above one which we have resolved over here. Clear? Any questions in these two syntaxes?
Do we need to use a list alone, or like we can provide
You can
values
even
directly,
pass a tuple also with that.
or
Python
like
this fine.
directly values can be provided?
Direct, you mean to tell here itself?
Yes.
No, Vinay. Either a Python list or a Python tuple. Either this one.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, just for learning perspective, okay, I'm going to paste both of the syntaxes in below hand side now. Okay. Now I want you guys to do one thing. Okay, so if this is my data frame, take a reference, guys. Take a reference from these two syntaxes. For learning perspective, give me the code in both the syntaxes. But while you're working on it, you actually work on any one of it. Okay, so your wish. Now, help me to extract the data where, okay, so extract the data where name localized value, that is this column, is either annual membership, is basically is in our annual membership, or if it is in 24 hours. Give me the code that will extract me the data. Wait, one more condition along with this, and the user type should be customer. Give me the code that will extract me this particular database. For learning perspective, give me the code in both the syntax 1 and syntax 2, so that you will have a practice on this one. Give me the code in the new syntax, guys. Okay, so the old syntax, that will be a little complicated. Use this one. Use these two syntaxes. So basically here you'll be using isin, and in inquiry you'll be writing down it in the syntax. This is direct filter. Okay, Ashika, you're right. Dot query function is right, but give me the code in this syntax as well. Anita, not even, yes, both of these codes are correct. So, Anita. Vinayaka. Yep, you are right.
Sir, do we have to import both those packages, that NumPy and Pandas for this for this one?
NumPy is not required. Pandas, yes, it is required now.
Okay.
Krishna, you're correct. Is-in operator will work fine. Code using is-in. Ashwin, awesome. Vaishak. Vaishak, code using is-in. That's correct. I'll do one thing. I'll let me copy any one of you guys' code. So this is for syntax 1. I'll write it down over here. The df of user type is equals to customer, and perfect. This will work fine. This bracket is getting chatted over here and terminated over here. This is for is-in operator. Okay, that's correct. And for query function, let me copy any one of you guys' code. So for query function, defined a list over here, and I'll just write this down into different lines so that it is easy for me to look at it. That's it. Okay. So run this code out. There's an issue somewhere in this code. Okay. So the spaces, this one and over here. Somewhere it is failing. Where is it? User type. Sorry, it is you're assigning this over here. It is not assigning. We need to give equal to equal to. It is in Python equals to just one means it is an assignment operator, right? So this is our equality operator. Done. Awesome. So 1,441 rows, 1,441 rows over here as well. Okay. Okay. Now, one question. Okay. So now try not to use your query function a lot, guys, because that they started it. Okay, then again they stopped it in the beginning itself. Okay, so that's why many things which we cannot achieve it over there. Okay, now I want us to understand this query first. Okay, see, everybody stop working. Have a look in my screen, guys. Okay, so look at the data now. Now I want to extract the data. Select star from this particular table where that is name localized value is like that is percentage. I'll just write down, let's say annual. Okay, so percentage annual and then percentage. One question for anyone who has worked in SQL: what will be the output in this case?
Anything that
That
has
contains annual.
Contains
Contains
annual.
starts
For an
and
example, see this one, annual membership, it is there. Will this be in my output? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. This will be
yes,
there.
What
So
about this
anything
one,
with
sir?
word annual in
Exactly.
column
it
name
will also
localized value.
Exactly. And it will let it be in the beginning, let it be because this is star, right? So anything before this, anything after this, right? So now the question is, how do we replicate this in case of our pandas? Okay, so or else let's say like this, right? So this means what? So this will extract me the data that is ending with annual, right? Or wrong?
Ending
What
with
will be the
annual. Ending
ending
Yeah,
with
with annual?
ending with
yeah,
annual.
ending
Yes.
with
So now this will extract me the data that is
Starting with annual.
Starting with annual, right? Okay, now the question is, how do we replicate this type of query in case of Pandas? It is pretty simple.
Starts
Okay.
with
Starts with also yes you can use, and ends with also you can use. How I'll try to show you. Okay. Now, how can we do it? It's pretty simple, guys. Okay, so df of, okay, so just a single condition. So we do not have any multiple conditions, just a single condition, right? So that is df of this particular column name. That is df of this column name. Okay, see, if I give equals to annual, now the question is, what will it extract?
Exact matching with annual.
So where and all annual is present, only that type of data. So in that scenario, will I have this in my output? No. Will I have only if annual is present? Yes, that will extract, or else it will not extract anything over there, right? Okay. Now the thing is, I wanted to give what, like a like operator over here. Okay, in the beginning and at the end as well, right? So now the question is, how do I do it? So in that case, yes, you also have one more parameter, one more function. Dot. See, one thing is to use the string functions now. That is starts with, that is ends with, and all, right? So please poke in that particular or pull in that particular module. So basically convert this object into string. Dot, here you have the function that is contains is there. We have starts with is there. See, strip is also there. That is for trim, which we see, right? So all the functions which you studied in your string data types in case of Python, right? So those functions are present over here. So here I needed to do what? So contains, that is annual. Okay, now the question is, it contains annual, but the thing is, see, right now, will this be present in my output? One second, I will change this query like this. Will you have this row in your output? Yes or no?
No. Yes.
Why will it not
case
have?
sensitive.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it is case, our whole Python itself is case sensitive, right? So we are matching small a with capital A. It will never match. Okay, now how can we do it? So in SQL, what do we do it? We do like this.
To upper.
In case of in SQL, you do it at lower or whatever it is, right? Now here also, yes, you have it. You can actually convert it into uppercase or lowercase, but there is a simple option in case of this one. That is over here. I think if you press Shift and Tab now, that is case is equals to false. What it will do right now? Basically, it will ignore the case sensitiveness right now. Okay. Now run this code out. Whatever output which we are able to see, it will extract you the data where annual is present either in the beginning. So basically contains annual over here. So this particular column where annual is present over here, let it be in the beginning, at the end, wherever it is, right? So that will be the output over here. Clear with this syntax? Okay. Now
One second. Why are we doing str here?
So the functions of our string you need to poke in by pulling in the module called as str. So first, basically it is object data type, correct, Bhavna? Right now, this is object. So if I give df.info right now, df.info right now, right? So .info. Okay. So see, all the string data types are directly not getting stored in case of Pandas. Strings are present as a form of what? Strings are present as a form of an object, right? So what I'm doing is I'm just converting that into a string and then poking in this particular function. Done?
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Now, one second. Now the question is, how do we 1 second, just 1 minute, huh? One thing, I'll just do it and come back. How do we poke in this function now? So this output, right? So basically I needed to extract the data where what? So that is name localized venue is starting with annual. So this is the output that will give you, right? So it is starting with annual. For an example, this type of data and all annual is present, but it is not starting with annual, right? So hence I don't want this type of data. In that case, how do I do it? So here you can go ahead and you can use stats with, okay, so but stats with case sensitiveness is this function, this parameter is not present. You can go ahead and you can start this. Okay, 1 second. Then there is a problem now. Dot.
So capital A, no? If it starts with.
Yes. I'm just saying, is directly lower. Can I do it or not? Okay, so basically it is directly not present. Then we need to run a loop and then extract this data. So run this code out. Yes, we'll be able to fetch that particular data, which is doing what? Which is starting with annual. Okay, I tried with case sensitiveness over there, but it is not directly present. So if you want to extract the data which is ending with annual, that is pretty simple. That is ends with over here. You can go ahead and you can pass this particular condition. If you have the type of values, you will have it, or else you will not have anything in my data. So clear? Contains, starts with, and ends with.
Sir, why can't we use is in, sir? Here.
Hmm?
Is in. What we saw.
Is in. Okay, okay. Now the question is, can we use is in over here? So is in means, see, I want to extract the data which is starting with annual. Okay, let it be annual membership or annual whatever it is, right? So annual whatever it is, right? So how can I do it? Because if I give dot is in, okay, so any particular column dot is in over here, and here the problem is I need to literally provide the complete data. Okay, so this whole thing itself I need to provide. So, but I wanted to extract the data, whatever which is starting with annual membership, right? So in that case, how can I give that? Okay, it starts with something like this. So because see, if I give annual over here, where and all annual is present, well, the whole value contains annual, right? So only that type of records will be pulled out. So I think then there will be no data at all, right? So this is one scenario. Or else what you need to do is you need to completely pass the whole value, right? So then yes, annual membership will be present, but who knows what and all other value type of data also, see this type of records. Again, if I know this value, only then I can extra pass it, correct? So if I do not know this at all, right? So how can I pass it over here? That is a problem, right? So that's why starting with annual, ending with whatever it is, you can go ahead and you can pull down. Clear?
Okay. Okay, so thank you. Yes.
Okay. Now you guys try it out. Okay. So I'm going to keep this syntax over here. Until then, I'll try to read this document. Let's see if I'm able to see the case sensitiveness over there. Okay. I'm going to keep all the three syntax, guys. This is syntax 1, this is syntax 2, and similarly, we have the syntax for ends with also. Okay, now try it out now. Okay, so this is my data. This is my data. Simple. Extract me the data where I'll write down a SQL query. You convert that into an Pandas filter. Okay, so extract me the data from this particular table where user type is equals to subscriber and that is this particular column that is stat station name is like over here, that is city. Give me the code that will fetch me this particular record. So see, city hall is there, somewhere city is also present, it should be present in between. The thing is, you can actually have one function dot lower is giving us a series data.
Can you paste the question, please, on the chat?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, 1 second. There is one easier method, guys. I remember this one. See? Starts with annual now. Here itself, you can even pass your regex pattern. That is starts with, for starting with. Okay. Similarly, for ends with now, you can also pass a regex pattern for ends with. That is what dollar we use, right? That is this one. You can pass these two things for starts with and ends with. Okay. Starts with and ends with. You can use contains for starts with and ends with. You can use this two. This is starts with, and the below one is for ends
The next topic is not covered yet.
with. Oh, okay. Okay. But just remember these two symbols for now. There are many symbols like this, but I think they might cover. But these two symbols, just remember it for now. We'll copy any one of you guys' code now and paste it over here. This is my SQL query and this one. Condition 1 and condition 2. Station name dot string contains city in between, and case sensitiveness we are just ignoring it, right? So now let's run this code out. Let us compare the output. String dot contain city and case is false. User and start station name. Something is an issue over here. 1 second. Okay, now you'll have an output. So city hall is the only value I think which we have over here. Okay, so any questions? Is this topic clear?
I think for a similar query, I'm not getting any results. I'm not sure what is wrong. Can I post my query? Is it okay?
In the chat box, post it in the chat box. Let's see.
I don't know. I've done some mistake, not figuring out what it is.
1 second, let me paste it over here. User type is equal to subscriber and the station name dot contain city. Okay, this is not string. It is without a string that false, right? So
Okay, my bad. Okay.
okay, so that's it. Okay, now let us proceed, guys. Right. So now I'm going to move on to the next topic. Okay. So please try to see. I'm just giving one examples over here, right? Please by the next week, na. So take out some time. You guys, out of curiosity, try to work on it because this and all is very useful. Without this, you'll never be able to handle the data. Okay. So now I'm going to proceed. Okay. So but for now, please everybody stop working. Have your focus on my screen now. Okay. Now let us
Sir,
proceed.
one thing, like I
Quickly, yeah.
understand that we are doing data frame and filtering all that, but can't we just execute SQL queries like we call
No.
Panda?
Here you cannot directly execute SQL queries, na? So you cannot write an SQL query on our Pandas data frame.
No, but there has to be some methods like how we do in Java and ASP.NET, where you can call the database object and do execute and then pass the entire SQL statement and all that. So can we do here
No,
in? Okay,
no,
so everything
no.
has to be on data frame only.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh,
Especially if you're dealing with Pandas, right? Yes, data frames.
okay.
But PySpark gives you an option for passing an PySpark SQL query, but Pandas does not have that option at all.
Okay.
Okay. Now let us
So
proceed.
PySpark, we should just like import like how we import other
Okay, yes,
libraries.
how we
Then
have
use it.
just how we have this pandas as a library, no? So similarly, we have another type of data frame. PySpark is what we call over there.
Okay.
Okay. Now let us proceed. Now we understood how to filter that data. Okay. So see, initially we started how do we create the data frames? How do we load the data frames from a files? Then we saw how do we perform indexing and slicing. Then we saw how to filter the data, correct? Now we'll understand how do we actually adding columns. First I'll go with columns, then I'll go with rows, okay? And deleting columns, okay? So what is the syntax? How do we do it in pandas, right? So it's pretty simple, okay? So now this actually is very simple compared to our SQL as well, okay? You can actually consider this one, right? Now if I want to add columns, how do I do it? Okay, so I'll try to take you guys to a couple of scenarios, but I'll take a simple data frame instead of this one. Let us take a simple smaller data frame. So p dot read CSV from here, let's say datasets. There's one data frame that is international org.csv. Okay, so load this data set up, guys. I'm sharing this data into the chat box. Because it only contains 2 columns, it's easy for me to explain. That's why I'm just taking a smaller data set for an example now. Okay, now see, if this is the data, totally how many columns are present? So there are only 2 columns. And totally how many rows are present? Totally there are 6 rows, including 0 over there, right? So that is what we have over here. Okay, target 1. I need to create a column. So for an example, let's say any XYZ column. Let's say over here, I'll need to create one column called as year. And I want to assign a single value. Okay, let's say 1, 2, 3 for all of these rows, for all of this particular rows. Now the question is, how do I do it? Right, so it is pretty simple. So df of that column name, let's say over here, year is the column which I need to create, is equals to a single value I need to assign, right? Let's say over here 1992, something like that, right? So now if I execute this particular code, as you'll be easily be able to create a column with a single value assigned to all the rows. This is a simple syntax. Okay, step 2, question number 2. No, I don't want to do this. I need to create a column with different values. For an example, here I want 10, here I want 30, like this, right? Different values for assigned to all the rows. Is it possible? The answer is yes, that is also possible. But how can I actually do it? So df of that particular column name, for an example, let's say column _1, okay, is equals to, you can create it by Python tuple or Python list as well, guys, and both will work. Anything will work. Okay, so here you can go ahead and you can pass values like this. Okay, here I'm doing it manually. I'll show you later on how do we do it with an actual programming, right? Okay, you can actually do this one, but there is a rule. The rule is basically what? Total number of rows inside my data should match with the total number of multiple values which you are trying to provide. In this case, 6 rows, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By chance, if I do this one, will it work? The answer is no. It will not work. Total number of rows should match with the total number of values inside your data. So only then this will work. So in that case, for an example, if I have this data, so let's say 5 and 6, something like that, right? Now I can go ahead and I'll be able to create a data frame, basically create a column inside my data frame with multiple values. Single value, multiple values. Any questions?
No, default values get added, is it?
Default values. It is like creating default values.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm saying
So can we
yeah.
also add none in this?
Yeah.
Can we add none? Oh, okay. You mean to tell like this type of data? Yes. Go ahead and you can anything you can do it. Okay. Now coming to the complicated part, guys. Okay. See, until here it was pretty simple. Now coming to the complicated part. Okay. So let's say no. I don't want to perform because I'm manually passing the data over here, right? So I'm hard coding the data as one single value and I'm providing the data from my side for all of these values. Now let's say, no, I don't want to do it. I need to create a column by performing some operation on an existing column. For an example, let's say Okay, let's say over here this column, right? So 1990. Okay, or is this column? So whatever value is present over here, that is 32. I want to divide it by 2, and I want to store the result. 54. I want to divide it by 2, and I want simple. It's just division divided by 2 and store the results. All of these values divided by 2, and I want to store the results over here. Now the question is, how do I perform this type of operation? Okay, so I'm performing this operation on a single column, guys. Okay, multiple columns, how do you include it? I'll show you. Okay, now it is pretty simple. How do I do an operation, right? So do you guys remember lambda map reduce filter? Yes or no? Quickly.
Yeah.
Lambda is basically what?
Yeah.
What is the meaning of lambda in case of core Python?
It's
One-liner function.
another
It's a one-line
Assigning a
function.
function to a variable, sir.
Basically a nameless function which we can write it down in a single line. What is map?
Iterate over each element.
Basically it provides multiple one element from the sequence whatever which we provide to your function as an input. So reduce also single output, and then filter is basically to do what? So basically filter out the data according to our news, right? So these are the functions which you actually use to play around over here. Okay, now let us see, right? So if I want to create a column that is just dividing this particular values and storing the result, right? So how do I do it? So df of on which column you want to perform an operation. I want to perform this operation on column underscore 1 dot apply. Okay, dot apply. Now what do we pass over here? Okay, so here it is similar to map, guys. This apply now, it is similar to map, like how it provides one sequence from one element. See here you have two parameters, right? So one is a function and then your sequence, correct? So it provides one element from the sequence to your function, correct? So similar to that, that is what apply will also do it. So whatever elements from this particular column, it provides it to the function which you pass over here. This is where you will be creating a function lambda of x, and then I'll just do what? X divided by 2. That's it, right? I wanted. Okay, so if I executed, I have an output over here. Okay, what is the output which we are able to see? So basically it did what? So it took one element from here, provided to the function which you have created. See here you can perform any operation, multiplication, division, anything. I'm just giving one example with division. Okay, so it took one value, provided to your function, whatever output your function gave, that it has stored it. Okay, that is what it is trying to perform now. Okay, now, okay, but my task was to create a column inside the data frame, right? So how do we actually do it? So see here, the output over here is series. Okay, now if it is a series, see, eventually it is what? Basically data frame is nothing but what? A collection of series. This is one series data type, second series, third series, fourth series, right? So it is nothing but a collection of series over there, right? Now you can go ahead and assign this particular column into a new column. So let's say over here column underscore 2 is equals to this one. Now what will happen? I'll be able to create a column by performing this operation. Okay, so this is on a single column. Notice I'm only performing this operation on column underscore 1 alone, not multiple columns. For multiple columns, you have to do it in a different manner. Okay, so this is how you can perform it. Done up to this point. Wait, then you guys work on a small task, then I'll go to the next part. Okay, so so create a column. I want you guys to do this, guys. Create a column, call as, let's say, column underscore 2. I want that contains what? That should have the first character first and the last character of your headquarters. Okay, so headquarters, what do I mean by this? So basically we have this data frame now. So we have this data frame. The first R and E should be present. T and E should be present. W and N should be present. So first and the last character of this headquarter column should be present in column underscore, let's say 3. Column underscore 3. Give me the code that will do this part. So the syntax as a reference is this.
Can you please post that query? Thank you.
Welcome. Try it out, then I'll go to the multiple columns. How do we perform an operation? Right now, I'm just want to do this in single column right now. Take a reference and do it, guys. Take a reference and do it. Simple syntax. What is the syntax? The column which you want to create is equals to the column on which you want to perform the operation and what lambda function. That's it. Headquarters. Perfect. Correct, Krishna. Correct, Anita. Correct, Arunima. One Krishna, awesome. Umang, perfect.
And what if we want to like perform the same thing on two different columns? Like if we want
Two
to
different
take
columns. Wait, I'll
like
come to it.
first, okay,
Yeah. Two different columns. No? There is a different syntax. That's why.
okay.
Okay, now let me just copy any one of you guys' code and paste it over here, guys. Okay, so now let me run this code out. Let's see. Column underscore code 3 is equals to df of on which quarter we want, sorry, which column we want to perform the operation and what operation which we want to perform. Run this code out and let's see if we are able to achieve this or not. Let's say R and E, awesome. T and this one, awesome, right? So basically we are able to successfully do it. Okay, wait. Before I go to the next part, did everybody understand how do we create a column with an operation on a single column? Only then you'll understand how to do an operation on multiple columns. Is this clear? Okay. Now let us go ahead and perform this operation on this type of operations on multiple columns. So for an example, okay, what if I want to not deal with one column? One column, it is pretty simple, condition or whatever it is, right? So it is possible. I want to deal with multiple columns. Means what? So let's say, simple case. Okay, let's say over here, I want to divide this value, divide 1992 with this value. Okay, so this value with this value, right? So basically, what are the values which are present over here? That value with this column underscore 2. That is my target. Okay, now the question is, see, over here by default, two columns came into picture, column 1 and column 2. These two columns, right? Now, how can we achieve this particular syntax? Okay, so how can we perform this operation on multiple columns? Unfortunately, they're started with one function called as assign, guys. Okay, so this was started, but the problem is over here, then it literally failed, right? So they stopped working on it again. So then how do we perform an operations on multiple columns? So this is where unfortunately you have to go back to our core Python to resolve this type of scenarios. Okay, so how can we do it, right? So now use map reduce filter itself over here in this type of scenarios now try to use map reduce filter, because here in map, right, see, you can pass function, that is one thing, right? So function can be passed, but not just one sequence you can pass, literally you can even pass multiple sequences. Okay, so use this over here to perform an operation on multiple columns. Okay, see, what I'm trying to tell is not just one sequence, right? So in map you can pass star iterables. See, if you press shift and tab, star iterables, even 10 columns, even 100 columns also you can pass over here. So try to use map to resolve this type of scenario. Okay, now how can we pass it, or how can we perform this operation on this multiple columns? It is pretty simple. I'll create the function later on. First, let me pass the sequences. First sequences, that is year column. Okay, and then the second sequence is basically what? That second sequence over here is df of, that is the column underscore 2, something like this, right? It's two sequences I'm passing. Okay, now what will be the lambda function? Okay, so lambda of, okay, one question for all of you, x, or I need to create two variables over here.
2, sir, x comma y.
X comma y. Why two variables?
We perform task on
We are
both the
passing
columns.
two
Whatever,
sequences.
Two
how many
sequences.
inputs we have.
Ah.
Yeah.
Let's say by chance if I have another column underscore 3 also, then how many
XYZ,
variables?
XYZ, yeah.
Right, so then 3 variables on the left hand side, guys. Okay, so try to remember this point, right? So core Python is our solution over here. Okay, lambda of x comma y. Now you can go ahead and you can perform any operation. Let's say x into y I wanted to perform. Sorry, x in divided by y. That's it, right? Now let me run this code out. You'll have an iterator object. If you want to look at the elements, wrap it around a list or a tuple, right? So yes, I'm able to see the data over here. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll round it off to 2 characters. Let me round this off to, that is 2 characters. Okay, so that is 2 digits. Okay, now yes, I'm able to see the data over here. Okay, now after this, now the question is how, but see, yes, I'm able to achieve this in our core Python. But the question is, I wanted this to be stored into a form of a column over here, right? Now, how can we do it? Now go back to our old Python syntax. Like this, if you have multiple values, as long as all the values are present, will I be able to create a column? The answer is yes, no? Here, why can I, see, I have the data for all the rows over here. Now can I, the question over here is, now can I create a column like this? Yes or no? What do you think? Is this possible or not possible?
Yes, you can.
It is possible. Like this, you can go ahead and you can work on it. Now, the point what I wanted to prove over here is, if you have multiple columns involved, try to use this syntax. It will be very simple. Okay, it will be very easy for you to perform any operations over here, guys. Clear?
Can you repeat that?
Taken column
Can you please repeat? Yeah.
Okay.
That
Okay.
map function.
Okay. Now, okay. Let me quickly repeat it again, right? So, okay. Now let's say over here, this is my data frame. Okay. So let's say this is my data frame now, right? Now the thing is, let's say I have 2 columns. Okay. Now I'll focus on column underscore 1 and column underscore 4 now. Okay. Let me focus on these 2 columns now. Basically, I need to do what? I need to compare the values. For an example, let's say over here, I need to compare this value with this value. Whichever value is maximum, I want to store the results in column underscore 5. Okay, so that is my task, right? Now the question is, how can I do it, right? So here again, multiple columns came into picture now. Okay, now how can I do it? So dot apply can support only one column at a time, right? So, but for multiple columns, how can we achieve this part? That is where core Python comes into picture. Okay, so over here now you can do what? So here function you need to create, and then the sequences, right? Sequence 1, that is over here. What will be the first sequence? That is column underscore 1. This is the sequence 1. Okay, and then again sequence 2 is basically what? That is sequence 2 is nothing but our column underscore 4. Okay, now you guys give me the lambda function. What will be the lambda function? Help me out. Lambda of x comma y. What will be the code over here? Condition. There is a condition. So whatever value is maximum, basically see in here 32 and 124.50, which is maximum 124.50. I want 124.50 to be stored. Here to here, I want this one. This to this, I want this one. This to this, I want this. This to this. 67 is greater, right? So then again, this to this, I want 78 to be stored. Basically, whatever value is maximum, I want to be stored in this particular column. What will be the lambda function now?
It
Max
will
of
say
sir,
x
max.
if x greater than y.
Return if x if
X greater than y.
is greater than y, else
Y.
y. Okay, now let me do what? Let me convert this into a list. Okay, so run this code out. Notice the output I am able to achieve. So, okay, so 67 and 78. Notice I am able to have that one over here. Okay, now, but I wanted to store this into a column, right? How do I do it? So, df of whatever column, let's say over here, column underscore 5 is equals to this value. Okay, now if I run this code out, if you look at this, you'll be able to create it. Understood? Now, the thing is, yes, see, that this syntax is pretty simple. To create a column, only thing is you need to be strong for these operations. Clear?
Sir, I have a question. Why are you converting this to a list?
You can actually do it without a list as well, but for me to show you the data, na, you can actually do it like this as well. 1 second. Oh no, you have to either a Python list or a tuple. You need to assign it over there.
Yeah, I just checked without list.
Exactly, it will work. It will fail. Python list
Some
or a tuple. Yes, any sequence data types. Python list or a tuple. Convert it and then store it.
Okay. So
Okay.
the output of this map function is not in a series then. We need to
It is
convert.
not in a series, exactly. That's why. Because it will return you an iterator object, no? So you have iterator object, you have decorator objects, which you might have studied in functions. It is not able to assign it over. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, now you guys try this out, guys. Okay, so take a reference from here. Wait. Okay, a very simple case. You have to think and then solve it. Notice the organization name column. Okay, here I want you to compare the first character, only the first character. If the first character, wait, I'll write down as well, huh? If the, sorry, basically create a column. Let me write down, create a column, that is column underscore 6. I want you guys to create that contains what? If the first character, okay, so if the first character of your organization name is an vowel, okay, is an vowel, then I want your code to do what? Then I want your code to then take headquarters. I'll explain you as well, okay? Else take the organization name. Means what? Okay, so basically something like this. First character, if it is vowel, so in this case, the condition matches or not matches? Vowels
No, not
are what?
matches.
It does not match. So then
Yeah.
I want my code to do what? Basically column underscore 6 that should contain FAO. Okay, so that should be present over here. So if it is an oval, AEIOU, so here the condition matches or not matches?
Yeah,
Yes, it
matches.
Matches. Then I want the Hague to be stored. The Hague to be stored. Understood, right? So if it is not a vowel, this value should be taken. If it is a vowel, then this value should be taken. That's it.
Can you also paste the codes for column 1 to 5?
1 second. Df dot. Just a minute. I'll share you guys then. 1 minute. 1 minute. I'll share you. Df is equal to pd dot data frame. Okay, now I think if you copy and paste this code, your data frame and my data frame will be in a sync. Until then, let me try something else as well. Yes, Six lambda of x and y. Okay. Others, guys. Umang Krishna, I got the output. Krishna, I got Umang. Yep, awesome. Anita, that's correct. Aruna, awesome. Okay, let me copy and paste any one of you guys' code. Df of x comma y, then if the first character of x lower is in the vowels, yes, then take the value of x, else take the value of y. And run this code out. Let us see if I'm able to see that type of output or not, right? So 1 second. I think this is opposite. Here, if it is a vowel, then take y, else take x. Else take x. Okay, so now let's see. Yeah, right. So if it is not a vowel, then this character is taken. If it is a vowel, then the second character is taken over there. Okay, so this is how we can work on it, guys. Any questions in this part?
My code is not working. I'm copy pasting it here. Please help me.
Very good, Bhavna. Let's see. Okay, so list brackets mismatched somewhere, Bhavna. So this bracket is not getting closed anywhere. Okay, 1 second. I'll try to close this bracket over here as well. Okay, let me just give this enter over here so that it's easy for me to resolve it. Okay, so this now bracket is for list. This bracket is for
two
math,
brackets.
and then this bracket is for the function, and then then you have the sequence. Now this should work. Just add one last bracket in the end.
Last
Bracket.
closing brace. Okay.
Work, na?
Yeah, I'm just checking the data fragments. Yeah, it is working out. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Okay. Now, this is how you can create columns on performing operations as well, guys. Okay. See, I took you guys through single value, default value, multiple values, manually passing it, operation on a single column, operations on multiple columns as well. Okay. Now, this is how you need to think later on and then develop the logics. Okay. Now, question is, how do we delete columns? Okay. So how do we delete any particular column inside my data? This is a pretty simple job now. Deleting columns in our data frames. How do we do it? Okay, it is pretty simple. Okay, so here you have two syntaxes to perform this. One is you can also use core Python delete function as well, del function as well. This also will work. Okay, your core Python delete function as well. How? Let's say this is my data frame. I have a task where I want to delete any column. Let's say this column, I need to drop it. It's not required. I need to delete it, right? So yes, you can actually use our core Python function, core Python delete function as well. Delete this particular column. Is to delete any columns like this. Notice column 6 is dropped. Okay, in the same syntax, you can also delete multiple columns also in a single shot. How? Let's say over here, delete of df. Okay, how do we delete multiple columns? One question for all of you. How do you think I need to provide multiple columns over here? I can provide them into a form of a list over here, right? So let's say over here, I need to drop column underscore 5 and column underscore that is whatever it is. Let's say over here 4. Okay, in between also you can drop whatever column names you want, you can drop it with. Okay, so like this you can drop multiple columns also in a single shot. This is by using our core Python function. The same task can also be achieved by our Pandas function, that is drop. This also is possible. Okay, how do we use drop as a function now? Right, so this is actually pretty simple as well as very easy as well, right? Okay, how can we delete the columns using Pandas function? To delete any particular column, df dot drop is the function which you can actually go ahead and you can use it. Same function I'll be also using to delete the row level data as well. Okay, later on I'll show you how. So see, I needed to delete columns, right? So over here, you can now go ahead and you can delete the columns. So let's say columns is equals to a single column. So let's say over here, column underscore 3 I need to drop. So single column, as well as, so if I run this code out, notice column underscore 3 is dropped. Similarly, you can also drop multiple columns also. That is over here, that is column underscore 3 and column underscore, let's say 2. Just pass multiple column names into a form of a list. Like this also, it is possible. Okay. Now coming to the issue over here. The issue is, hey, I have dropped the columns over here. Notice I have dropped column underscore 3 and okay, I'll take this itself as an example. I have dropped these two columns. Even after dropping those two columns, if I still check my data frame, still those two columns are present. What exactly is going on over here? Okay, now understand this point. Pandas has a type of a safety feature. Okay, so safety feature is basically what? So it will try to basically directly not make the changes in the original data frame. So what it is trying to give you right now is basically it has dropped that particular column and it is giving you a new data frame as an output. Okay, so imagine something like this. You are going to a shop. Okay, so you have 100 rupees note, right? So you have 100 rupees note. You will go to a shop and you will ask this particular person, hey, give me a change of 50 rupees note, right? So now the question is, this particular person, will this person directly make the changes in the original note and give you two half notes, right? That is not what he do, right? So what he does is basically he keeps the original object as it is. He gives you two new objects as an output, correct? So he gives you two new notes, 50 rupees notes as an output, correct? Same scenario over here. Okay, so the original object is as it is, the data frame is as it is, there's no change in that one. The output what you are able to see is a new data frame as an output over there. That is what this particular pandas will try to do by default. Let's say no, hey, no, I don't want this column. I basically see this new data frame. You can store this into a new underscore df whatever. Right? So then deleted columns with the data with the deleted columns will be inside new df. The original data will be as it is. Actually, it will be untouched. This you can actually do it, right? Now let's say no, I don't want this at all. I want the changes to be made in the original data frame. How can I do it? That's where you have this particular parameter, something called as in place. By default, it is false. You just need to do what? In place. This in place is going to be present in all the functions from now, whatever which I'm going to do. In place is equals to true. If I execute this, notice there is no output. But if you look at the data frame later on, those columns are actually deleted. What exactly happened over here? Now you are telling your pandas that, hey, delete this column. Do not give me a new data frame as an output. Make the changes in the original data frame. That is the meaning of in place is equals to true. Clear, everyone?
But we can also do df equal to df dot drop, right?
Df is equals to df dot drop. Yes. What you are telling is correct, Bhavna. So this same thing now, you can actually do it like the df is equals to this one, right? So yeah, this also you can go ahead and you can do it, or simple, go ahead and give in place is equals to 2. That's it.
When we do df equal, right? And if we have a very huge df, so will it make lots
basically
of memory?
so it is like this, right? So you have a memory occupied, you're just going back and again replacing that particular thing with a new object, right? So then again what will happen is you created a new object and then you're replacing it. This will have an issue in your memory wise data, Bhavna, because see, if you are dealing with 1 terabyte data, that and all, it is very huge now. So you are duplicating a data in a step 1. So then you created 2 terabytes data, then again you are replacing it over here, right? So literally you're struggling a lot. Okay, so now that's why basically what here in place is basically doing is do not create a new data frame, just make the changes in the original one. That is what this in place.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, now okay, so 1 second. Why is it giving an error? Because I have already dropped it, guys. Okay, so that is why it is giving an error now. So I'll just change this to one single column, that is column underscore 1. Okay, so now, so basically in place is basically what? So if I run this code out, the data will, this column will be deleted and the changes will be made in the original data frame. That is what this in place means over here. So this in place, from now, whatever function which I'm going to do, you'll be able to see it over there. Okay, so try to remember this part. Clear? Okay. Now shall I proceed to adding rows and deleting rows? Okay, now let me proceed. So I'll change the data frame. I have a smaller data set for this one. Okay, so pd dot your read. I'll just, out of curiosity now, I'll just change the data frame because I'll want to move out of this one. IMDb rating CSV. Load this data set up, guys. Okay, so that it will be interesting for me also to work on it. That's why. I've shared this data frame. Load this data frame, guys. We'll work on row level data now. We understood column level data. Now we'll work on row level data. That's it.
Israr, one very naive question. Now, this data removing addition and all, that will get reflected in the CSV file directly.
No. Unless until you do not save it, you can actually save this changes. I'll show you after this topic.
Okay.
Ashwin. Okay. But until then, everything is happening in your RAM. Keep this in your mind.
Okay, so it's a heap copy.
Yes. In your RAM itself, it is getting copied. The original file is untouched now, until now.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Now, everybody loaded this one. Shall I proceed? Okay. Now let us start. So this is the data. The data contains what? Star rating is there. We have title of the show. So it is like IMDb shows, right? So we have the star rating, we have the title, we have the genre which it belongs to, and then the duration of the show over there, right? So that is what this particular data is, a smaller data. So for us to just understand something over there, I just simple data I've just created. That's it. Okay. Now the thing is, okay, task one, adding rows. I'll focus on adding rows now. Then we'll go to deleting rows. Okay. Task one is I need to add one row. Okay, so imagine this is the data right now. Until there are totally how many shows? 10 shows present over here. There's one new show, new underscore show. I'll just keep it. Okay, so there's one new show that is what star rating is. Let's say 8.9 is the star rating. The title of the show is, let's say, for example, I just write down Friends. Okay, then again the genre is, let's say, anything. I'll just take drama. And then the duration over here is something like this. So just 15 minutes, something like that, right? There's one new show, a single show. I need this show to be inserted inside that particular about data frame. The question is, how do I do it? Right? So there are multiple options, okay, manually, as well as you can also use something called as concat. Later on, I'll show you that one. Okay, so how can you achieve this task? Okay, so this task can be achieved in a simple manner. That is what. So you have to think logically now. Okay, so you have to do this manually. df dot lock. Okay, now come to this lock function. Here the syntax is will become very simple. Okay, now there are two things which you can pass, correct? So if you remember yesterday's class, one is for rows and second one is for columns. Yes or no? Do you guys remember this lock?
Yeah.
Lock. Okay. Now using lock. Okay, so for an example, existing row I need to replace. In example, this row number 4, whatever data is there, this data I want to replace it with the new show. Okay, that is my task. What you can do is you can capture the data with the row level index value. So that is .4, right? So this is the data is equals to the new show. Like this, you can go ahead and you can reassign this. So if you look at the data frame, the existing data can be replaced using the same syntax. Same syntax, you can also use it to do what? You can also see right now there are totally, what is an index value? There are totally 10 rows, right? So the index value is, last index value is what? 9. Okay, so let's say for example, if I give, let's say 13, see existing index value, if I'm passing it, it will replace the data. If I'm providing any index value which is not present, for example 16, is this index value present inside my data? No. It will do what? It will create one row inside your data frame and that particular values will be assigned. Okay, so this is manually if you're doing it. Okay, now see, one show it was like this. Imagine there are multiple shows. Let's say over here new underscore shows, multiple shows, right? Now the question is, how can I achieve this task? Where is that new show? This one. Okay, so if you have multiple shows like this, right? So this is where it is going to fail. Okay, now let's say I'll just take, let's say, multiple shows. Okay, so in this one we have show 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's say there are 4 shows. Okay, so let's say I'll change the name just for me to understand this. Let's say this is Game of Thrones. This is, let's say, for example, Prison Break. And let's say something else. I'll just write down XYZ for now. Okay, let's say these are multiple shows. Now the thing is, how can I insert multiple shows in my data frames? Okay, so in my data frame, how can I insert this particular multiple shows inside my data frame? Now there are 2 options. Okay, so there are 2 options. What are the options over here? Here, option number 1, use loop. Option number 2 is also present by using something called as concat function. Okay. Now, what can you, okay, using a loop, how? So see, if you're doing with loop, the syntax is something like this for me to insert one show at a time. This is the syntax which we saw for me to insert one show at a time. Okay. So what I can do over here is I can actually loop over my data. Okay. So see, right now, for example, for I in, let's say over here, this is my data frame, right? So for I in, let's I'll loop over this one, new shows. Okay, one question. For the first iteration of your I, what will it assign? Will it assign the whole row, or will it assign the first value like this? 8.9 will
First
be
row.
Whole
First
row.
row.
the whole show will be assigned, right? So that is what, so you are basically iterating over one show at a time over there. So one show at a time, right? Now it is like coming back to this particular syntax. What syntax? So at the time, how I did this for row 16, I did it like this, right? So it is coming back to the syntax. See, I'm able to iterate one show at a time, right? So now the thing is, I need to just dynamically change the index values over here. Dynamically change the index values. Okay. So what if I get, let's say over here simple, let's say over here length of this one, will it give me the index value? The answer is yes. See, there are totally how many rows? Okay. So either this one, or else you can take the index if you want your data to be accurate, right? 16 plus something like that, right? If you want to do that one also, you can do it. So how do you do it? So length max of, okay, it is df dot index. You'll have the list of all the index values, then get the max of this one. Okay, max of this one, so 16, then plus 1 if you want to be accurate, right? So this is how you do it. So plus 1 you keep on doing, or else here you can keep on doing like this as well. Okay, so length of data frame plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, right? So that you can go ahead and you can use it. Now how do I keep this in my logic? So this is a syntax for me to insert one row at a time. The same syntax, I'll just use it over here. That is what? So df.lock. If you want to be accurate, use the below one. If you want that, just for me to explain, I'll just keep this over here.
But length and index are different.
Correct. That's why I use this one. So because see over here 16, so the next value I want to get inserted as what? 17, 18, 19, right? So then if you want, then yeah, of course, the sequences will be messed up. Then no worries. Later on, we can correct the sequences of the index values easily. Okay, so we can correct it. But again, if I want from the max plus 1, use this. If you want, let's say in an order, right? So basically from the length of the data frames, then use this, guys. Totally your wish what you're doing it, right? Now assign these values, and now let me check my data frame. Notice I'm able to insert that particular data. This is how you can insert the data manually over here. So just by a simple logic, okay? So just by a simple logic, I am doing it over here. Okay, what if I don't want this one?
Sir, I do have a question. You have used length of df plus 1 here, right? And in the index, we already had 16. What in case we had like extra list over there, and
exactly.
would
it is going
take
to replace the
automatically
existing
17, or how is it?
No, it will replace the 16th data over there. If let's say multiple, say 10 shows are there, then whatever in 16 it is there, it would have been replaced.
Oh, okay. So we won't be having extra 17.
Exactly. So that's why use this logic. So max plus 1, right? Max of index plus 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it with this one. But to be accurate, we should have done it in this manner.
Okay, then there wouldn't be any data.
Then yeah, so of course you will not lose any data.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Now this is one of the method, guys. Okay, so to manually insert the data. Okay, so but here I'm doing it manually. But see how many problems we are occurring, right? So we are struggling with the index values a lot. All of these issues and all are coming into picture now. So then of course here the data is very small, as well as for me to correct the data also it is very easy. If the data sets are very huge now, the same topic would have been very difficult, very complicated. So then what is the solution? This is where you have concat as a solution. So basically concatenation. Concatenation can be easily done over here. Okay. Now the question is, how do we concat this data into the above data frame? Okay. 1 second. I am going to reload the data so that I'll start as a fresh, just to avoid having confusions. Okay. So the thing is, I have the data, that is this data, and I want to basically concat this. So basically, this rows I want to insert over there. Second option, we understood by losing loop, manually doing it, we saw it. There are many problems also. Yes, we can have an occurrence. Then again, for that also, we need to think of a logic and then resolve it. But nothing is impossible, right? So even that also can be done. But here, easier method is concat. Okay, but there is a rule, right? A basic rule for concatenation. A simple question: can I concatenate a string with an integer? Yes or no?
No.
What is the rule for me to concatenate?
Same data type.
So for me to concatenate any data type, let's say over here a list. List, can I concatenate with let's say a tuple at least? Can I concatenate with the tuple at least? Answer is no. You need to have both the same data types over there. Only then it will work, right? So if you have a list on the both hand side, it will be easily possible for you to concatenate. Now you have one data frame at one side, and you have another side, you have a Python list. One question: do you think can I directly concatenate this? See, this is Python list now. So new shows over here are Python list, right? So possible or not possible?
Need to change it to data frame, sir, and then
This task, first one is convert this into a data frame and then concatenate with the other data frame, right? So that is how you have to do it. Okay. Now remember yesterday's topic. I actually spent it a little bit time for us to understand how do we create data frames, correct? Now you guys have to do it now. So this is the data. I have my data, let's say create me a data frame _1 like this. That should contain what? So this data should be present, and the columns you maintain whatever is present in the DF, right? So maintain the same set of columns over here. Give me the code that will convert this, so basically create a data frame out of this data. I'll share this data into the chat box. I'll not do it. I want you guys to recall yesterday's topic and
Can you please scroll up a little? That can show that for loop that you have written.
okay. Then I'll delete the useless parts. This one also I'll delete it. Let me delete this one as well. I'll move this.
Can you paste the column names as well if you don't?
You have the data frame, no? From there you need to fetch that column names. I want you guys think logically and fetch the column names. This is a loop. Column names, think. There's one small attribute. df.index will give you the index. df.what will give you the list of columns? Anyone? df.what will give you the list of columns?
df.columns, I think.
Exactly. df.columns. Create a data frame out of this new flows. That's it, guys. That's it. Correct, Vinayaka. Your code is correct, but you're manually passing this. Imagine a data frame contained 100 columns. Then literally 100 columns you have to sit and give like this. Raj Kanya, your code is also correct, but columns. Imagine 100 columns. You need to struggle.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Maybe put it in an Excel and then import or something, sir. Just
No.
guess.
See, DF is there. Dot columns, if you give, you'll have the list of columns. Just pass this directly over there. That's it, like that. Okay. Let me also do it. So df underscore new underscore shows, right? So something like the new shows. Which function? PD dot data frame, correct? So if we are creating the data frame manually, right? So out of this particular new shows list, okay. If I print the data frame, your data frame should look something like this over here. But the column names are not present. How do we resolve it? So that's where we have columns is equals to. Here you can directly go ahead and give this particular list of columns. So copying it, right? So it will be easy for us to work on it over here. Okay, now we have these two data frames now. Now question is, can I concatenate these two data frames into a single data frame? Yes or no?
Yes, both
Yes.
are data frame.
Yeah, now both are data frames means now it is possible for me to concatenate. Yeah, I know you might be thinking now, hey, what if the column names are mismatching and all, right? So that and all, I'll come to that point. Wait. Okay, now the thing is, in simple words, the answer is yes. Now it is possible for me to concatenate. PD dot concat is a function you can go ahead and you can use it. Okay, press shift and tab. You are expected to pass an iterable for multiple data frames. So that is what df, and the second one is df of that second new shows, right? So like this, you can go ahead and you can pass this particular value. Okay, now I am able to see. Now look at the output. df 9 rows are present, new rows, this is present, but there is an issue on the left hand side. Notice the index values 0 1 2 3 0 1 2 3 over here also. Basically it is concatenating this data with this one, and it is keeping the index values as it is. It is keeping the index values until even the index values also it is trying to concatenate. Okay, now if you want, hey, only bring in or concatenate new data, so only concatenate the data, assign new index values, right? So then you can go ahead and you can give one parameter, ignore index is equals to true. Means what? Now what will it do? It will leave out the index values inside there. So basically it will not keep the old index value. It will try to assign new index values to the complete data. So only the data will be concatenated. The index values freshly it will get assigned over there. So that is what, so it will not bring in the old index values as well. That is what concat as a function will work. Clear or not?
Can you please repeat a little over the?
Okay. 1 second.
I have a question. When you created new data frame, from where you got the df.columns?
I had a data frame, no? DF was already present, right? This one.
So means you displayed it in previous data frame and then added it here?
Exactly, that's it. I just copied the columns from the one side and then pasted in another side. That's it. Okay. Now, wait, let me explain this again, guys. Okay, for this now, I'll take a smaller data frame as an example. Okay, so data frame 1, I'll pasting this also for you guys to work on with me. But again, wait, try to focus on my screen. Let us understand this and again do it. Okay, please focus on my screen now. 2 data frames, simple case. Column names are same. City temperature, humidity. City temperature, humidity. Data frame, this contains the cities of Indian cities. The below data set contains the cities of our US. Okay, so 2 simple data frames. Now the thing is, I need to concatenate these 2 data frames into a single data. How? PD dot concat is a function. Now here you'll be passing the data into a form of what? As a form of an iterable data, right? So India, comma, that is US weather. Okay, so that is how, right? Now if you look at the data is concatenated. India and then US data is concatenated. But left hand side, even the index also is getting messed up, right? Why? Because see, why I'm telling you to correct the index values. In pandas, right? So if you remember from yesterday's class, index values plays a very vital role, right? Because see, using index itself, you pull out the data, we filter the data, etc. Right? If the index values are like this, now, if I'm giving, let's say something like this, right? So this dot lock of 0, both of these rows will get pulled up. Mumbai as well as New York. See, if I run this code out now, so both of this will get pulled up. So that's why I'm telling that index values plays a very, very vital role inside our data. So having correct index values should be present, right? So that's where what I want to give is, hey, only concatenate, what is it doing? It is keeping the existing index values as it is. So from data frame 1, data frame 2, whatever index values are there, it is keeping it as it is. I just want to tell my Panda that, hey, please ignore the old index value. Try to give new index value. Right? So just ignore index is equals to true. Only the data will be concatenated. The index values newly it will be assigned over there. That is what this particular parameter means. Clear?
One question here. One question here. So this is the logical way we should go forward, right? Then why they have given even parameter true? Like, is it required in some cases? We don't need index to change.
Yes. It is required. Why? Because some of the data, na. 1 second, I'll show you. You will deal with something called as multi-level index data as well. Once you are into big data and all, right? So here also you have a parameter. 1 second. Key is equals to, let's say over here, India. Okay, like this. Okay, US. Okay, so why it is required now? I'll tell you. Why did these people did not give this by default? It should have given by default. They should have assigned new index values, right? Why by default not they are not giving it? Because to play around with this type of scenario, we will have multi-level index also. See, India, and then again inside this option also they are providing us to give.
Okay.
Clear,
Okay.
na? So what will happen, right? Later on, see, 100 rows for India, 100 rows for US. Then later on, it is easy for us to pull out the data later on. Okay, so that's why it is actually done. But again, if you want to do that, yes, they have given one option also over here. That's it. Okay, now coming to your question now. What if the columns are mismatching, right? So what if the columns are mismatching? Okay, now let me copy this code, paste it over here, and let me bring in that India weather and then US weather also. Guys, is everybody following me? One
Yes,
quick
sir.
question.
Second data frame is not there. US weather.
Oh, sorry, I did not paste it. I'm pasting it in the chat box. Sorry. Okay. Am I going again too fast? Yes, Bhavna. It is okay. 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 Try to bear with me because we have to complete many topics. Huh? Joins and all are there still okay. If here itself, if I spend much time, right? Joins and all, then gone. That's why. Okay. Okay. Now, what if the column names are mismatching? How does the concat work? Okay, so for an example, concat is a very simple case, guys. So there's nothing complicated at all over here. Okay, so let's say over here, this data contains city and then humidity. Okay, similarly, let's say over here, this data contains city and temperature records. Okay, so city and temperature, distinct cities over here. So in that case, what will you do? See, concat as a function will do what? It will try to maintain as a type of a rectangle. That's it. So try to maintain as a rectangle means what? So let's say over here, see data frame 1 and data frame 2, where and all, let's say column, this column is not present in the about data frame. It will ingest it as null over there. It will create a column, but it will fill it as null. For example, this column is present over here. This column is not present inside my data. Like union all, yes. In case of union in our SQL, right? Similar to that one. Okay, so it will try to ingest it as null value over there. Okay, so if I run this code out, see, all the three columns are going to be present: city, humidity, temperature. But where and all data is not present, it will keep it as, notice, it is ingesting it as null value in that particular locations. That is how it will work. Clear? Okay, there's a bug over here, but we'll have a break and then we'll start, because I think many things are getting done. We'll have a quick small break and then we'll come back. That's where the solution over there is merge. Okay, so okay, so there's a bug over here. I'll explain this bug, but we'll have a small break and come back and then we'll start. Continue, guys. Okay. It's 11:55. We downloaded. 10:55 now. We'll be back by 11. Take your time, guys. Okay, so if you want, you can have a lengthy break. Be back by 11:10 because now I have little less topics right now. After this merge and group by, let's see. Uh, if group by it is optional. If possible, I'll take, or else I'll take group by next class. Then pivot tables will take in the next class. That's the plan. Take a little lengthy break, but be back in a fresh mind because these joints you have to understand it very clearly. That's why. Okay.
Isra, one quick question. So
Mhm.
you see that NaN, right? Like both tables,
Mhm.
similar columns. Now, why did we end up with an NaN there?
No, I changed it. See, I deleted temperature column from here. It contains only city
Okay.
and humidity, and I deleted humidity column. So now it is ingesting NaN where it is not present.
Okay. My bad. Yeah. Thank you.
Mhm.
Sir, so to
Okay.
conclude, we can combine two tables, and that will be
Yes.
using concatenation, and we can ignore for the index number. We can give that ignore.
Exactly.
Okay, okay, that's the shortcut, sir.
Yes. Shortcut to insert row level data. So, but first thing is you need to convert or basically bring two data frames to concat. That is what I meant to
Yes,
say.
sir. We need to convert it to data frame first.
Data
Yes.
frames and then yes, do it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. But there is a bug over here. A very big bug. Okay, I'll show you once right after the break.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. We'll be back by 11:10, guys. Okay. Okay. Others? Akshay, Anita, Arunima, Bhavna, Umang, where are you guys? Everybody is also back. Okay. Let us continue, guys. Okay. So we understood how do we add the rows until now, right? So we understood how to add columns, delete columns, add rows. We understood. Simple concept. How do we delete rows inside one of our data frames, right? So I'll take this itself as an example. Okay. Now, if I want to delete any specific row in my data, for an example, let's say over here, I want to delete, let's say, this data. This, I don't require this data for an example, right? So the question is, how do we delete it? What is the syntax? Which function can we use? df dot drop is the same function. How we use for columns is equals to now same function. Over here, you will be giving index is equals to that particular index value. For a single index value also you can delete it, as well as let's say over here for multiple index value, right? So 5, 4 and even 7, like this also you can delete that particular data. But as a rule over here is what we'll be deleting that particular rows by capturing the index values inside my data. Okay, so that is how we drop it. But one question, if I execute this, let's say over here, if I check the data frame, will you still have this 2 rows inside my data or not? Because see, here it is not present, right? Will you still have it or not?
We'll still have it.
It will take the default indexing, maybe.
Yeah, we'll still have it. But why is it still present? It is showing you it is deleted, right? So, but why is, yes, the answer is yes. 4, 7, it is still present. But why is it present? What do you think I need to give over here? If I really want to delete the
In
data.
place true.
In place is equals to true. Okay, so I'll just not give it, but again, this is how you drop it, guys. Okay, now the question is, okay, so this is how we drop. That is a simple syntax. But what if I want to drop with a condition? For an example, I want to drop the data where the genre is equals to crime. All of the records, let it be where and all, right? So let it be whatever rows. I want to drop that particular data where genre is equals to crime. How do I do it? Okay, so now you have to do it in 2-step process. One is filter the data with your condition. For an example, if we all know how to filter the data now, right? So df of that is genre is equals to what? Equals to crime. Okay, so filter the data which is matching your condition, like how I have done that. Okay, then again dot index, capture the index values for those, and then provide this particular index in df.drop of index is equals to, here you can go ahead and you can provide it like this. This is how you actually play around. There's no direct method. So if you want to drop the data where it is equals to crime, right? So this is how you have to think of a method. First filter the data, capture the index values and drop it. Directly there's no method. You have to drop the data with the index values itself over here. Clear, everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, so in simple words, okay, let's you guys try this out. Okay, so drop the data where drop and help me to drop the data where your duration is between your 100 to 150, both are inclusive. Help me to drop the data where the duration is between 100 to 150, both are inclusive. Help me to do it. Now I'll give you this particular syntax as a reference over here. Try to take a reference and then do it, guys. Try it out just as a learning perspective.
So could you please give us the data frame so we are able to perform?
Same, that IMDb one, na? Where is it? Here. This is the one. Same data set. Drop the data where the duration is between this range. That's it.
One very silly question actually. So df of genre is equal to crime will return an index of values, is it?
No. First, see, first I'm filtering the data. So this will give you the filtered data, right? So where and all genre is equals to crime, you will have that filtered data. This is what we did in the beginning of the class. Then capture the index values only for those data, like this.
Index
Okay.
will array essentially. It's not a single value.
Yes, it will give you an array. So pass this list of index values in the drop function. That's it.
Understood. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Perfect. Until then, let me prepare for the next set of task. This I require, and I require this as well. Okay, so that's correct. So I'll just copy and paste any one of you guys' code. Let me execute it. Let's see the output. Drop is greater than or equals to this one, and drop this one. Okay, but again, still I'm able to see this 96. Oh, it is less than 100, right? Oh, okay, okay, okay. So yes, but again, if you see, I think a couple of rows we have dropped. Where is it? Which is dropped? 0 is dropped. This condition matches. And then 9 is dropped. This condition also is matching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So rest and all, it is actually present. Rest and all rows, the condition actually does not match. Awesome, right? So, but everybody clear, right? So this is how we can easily play around with our data. Dropping the rows is very simple concept. Okay, any questions before I go to the next topic? Okay, if you want the changes to be made in the original data frame, please use that ignore in place is equal to true in all of these functions, guys. Okay. Okay, now let me proceed. Now let us go ahead and understand merge. For this topic, I want everybody to stop working. Please focus on my screen. This concept is a little confusing, but once understood, right? Here also it will be easy. In your SQL also it is going to be easy. That's why try to focus on my screen now. Okay, just for some time. Okay. Now coming to the issue which I was talking about in concat. Okay. Now look at these two data frame 1 and data frame 2. I have pasted this into your chat box as well. If you guys want to work, you can work with me. Okay. Now df1 and df2. df1 contains what? City, New York, temperature record is there. For the same city, New York, see, humidity data is present in the other table. Okay, other data frame. It is like RDBMs, right? We have in different SQL tables we store the data. For an example, in students, we do not store the complete student data over there. So names, then in a different table, marks, each semester wise marks, right? So different tables over there, right? Now the task over here is I need to combine these two data frame into a single data frame. Basically, what I want is for New York, okay, only focus on New York City alone. You'll have a clarity now. I want the temperature to be picked up from here, and I want the humidity data to be picked up from the data frame 2. Okay. Now coming to the thing which we just now studied few minutes, just some time ago, concat, pd.concat. Okay. Now let's see if concat is an actual solution for this or not. Okay. So df1 and df2. Concat is not a solution over here. Why is it not a solution? Because if you see, I told you, right, when the columns are mismatching, it will try to maintain as a type of a rectangle where the data is present. This type of data, different cities, awesome, we had the data. But in this case of data, it is messed up now. So right now, basically New York temperature was here, humidity data was present over here. Now notice something in the output. New York, what did it do? It created as a type of a rectangle. It created both the columns and it tried to maintain it itself as a form of a rectangle, right? So see over here, this is data from 1 and data from 2. So see, New York temperature record, it has taken from df1. It has kept as humidity as null. But in the below hand side, see, say New York is present, here temperature is null and humidity data is picked up over there, right? But is this what I wanted? No, right?
No,
I wanted a
in
single
a
row of
single
New York.
row.
Humidity data, temperature should be picked up from here, and temperature, humidity data should be picked up from here. That is what I wanted, right? So how can we achieve this? Okay, the people who have worked in SQL, what is the solution here for this type of cases?
Outer
We do joins.
Join.
Joins.
Whole join.
We do joins, correct? So, okay, so for the people who have never heard of joins, for you guys, right? So I'll just show you one simple thing over here, guys. Okay, so joins in our DB. I'll just take this one, and I'll take any image for me to explain a small, simple image. Let me take. Joins in DB. I'll take the one small image. I think this I can use it to explain. Let me see. Let me see this image. But it is cut shorted on the right hand side. I'll take this. Let's see. Okay. So we have something called as joins, guys. Very simple concept over here, but you just need to understand something now. Okay. So first we'll have a clarity on joins, then we'll see how do we do it in Pandas over there. Okay. Now, what exactly are the joins? So basically, there are different types of joins. We have something called as inner join, we have left join, we have right join, we have something called as outer join. We also have something called as cross join also. Literally, that is our Cartesian joins, which we call, right? Okay, so we have different types of joins now. Okay, so inner is basically what? Imagine table 1 and table 2. Inner is, okay, just do one thing. For the people who have never heard about the joins, for you guys especially, right? Have a glance at this. So inner is basically what? Inner is basically it will only pick up the common elements. Okay. Now focus on left join. Okay. So inner join, right? So in our pandas, it is not left outer, it is left join. Okay. It is left join. Now left join is basically what? All the elements from table A as well as the common elements. Achha, what is right instead of right outer? We have in pandas, it is right join. Okay. All the elements from the right hand side as well as the common elements. Then instead of full outer, we have in SQL we have full outer. Here we call it as outer join over there. Okay. All the elements from table A, B, as well as the common elements of your data. Okay. So that is this particular join. Okay. Have a glance. Inner means common. Left means everything from the left hand side as well as the common. Right means everything from the right hand side as well as the common. And outer means basically what? All the elements from table A and B as well as the common elements over here. Okay. So that is what these joins are about. Okay. Now let us go ahead and understand this in case of our data level. Okay. How do we do joins in case of pandas? The syntax is pretty simple. That is pd.merge is the function which you go ahead and you can use it. Okay. So I want you guys to look at left. See, left is what data frame, right is what data frame. how by default it is an inner join. Okay, by default, even if you provide or do not provide it, it is an inner join. Okay, I'll copy and paste it. Then we have on which column do you need to join. So in SQL also we provide the column names, right? On df1 dot column name equals to df2 dot column name, right? So same type of scenario over here as well. Okay, so let me show you how do we actually work on it. df1 is this, df2 is this. Okay, what is the common column over here? That is city column, correct? So df dot this one merge df1 and df2. Okay, so here on which column do I need to merge this on? I need to merge this on the city column. By default, it is an inner join. We'll come to that in some time. Okay. Now, if I execute this, see, concat had an issue. It created two distinct rows for our New York, but in the below hand side, it is output is different. Output is what? For the same city, New York, it has taken the temperature from table 1 and taken the humidity data in table 2. That is the use of our merge. Okay. Now, and let us understand what is this inner, what is this outer, etc. Right? Let us try to now understand it. Okay. Now, I'm just going to change the data frames now, so that we'll have two distinct data frames now. Okay. Where is it? I did have them. Okay. I'm sharing this for you guys as well, so that let us all work on it together. df1, I'll change this to this one, and let us change df2 to this one. Okay, I'm taking a small data set for us to understand, guys. Okay, now let me copy this code. Okay, now understand the data. Okay, so now understand the data level now. So hope you guys are not working right now, right? So understand the topic first. Okay, now focus on the data which we have. We have New York. Temperature data is also present. See, table 1 contains temperature data. Table 2 contains the humidity data. For New York, we do have temperature as well as the humidity data. Okay. Similarly, for Chicago, okay, temperature is also present. Temperature is also present as well as the humidity data is also present. Orlando, notice something. Temperature data is present, but do we have temperature over here? One second. There's an for explaining. I just did it. I'll remove this New York one record for now. Okay. So in case of our Orlando, okay, so we have only temperature data, but we do not have the humidity data for this one. Okay. Baltimore also same scenario. Notice San Diego. We have the humidity data, but we do not have the temperature data for that one, right? Now the question is, it is an inner join. Inner join will only pick up what? It will only pick up the common elements from both the tables, right? So you guys think logically, which two cities are common in both of these tables?
Chicago and New York.
Chicago and New York. So it will only pick up the common elements inside my data. Why only the common elements? Because by default, it is what type of join? How is equals to? It is an inner join. Inner means only the common elements. Okay. Now think logically now. Okay. Now if I do a left join, okay, if I do left join, think df1 is left, df2 is right. Okay. So all the elements from the left hand side as well as the common element. So you tell me how many rows of data do you think I will have if I execute it?
4 rows.
4 rows. New York, Chicago, Orlando, and Baltimore. Okay, one question here. For New York, temperature data is present and humidity data is present. But for these two things, it is not present, right? What will your system put in place of those?
None.
None.
It is going to ingest it with our null records. Notice the null records. Okay, now come to the opposite case, right? So right join. Okay, so right join. Okay, so right join means basically what happened over here is San Diego is present over here. It is not present over here. Now the question is, we'll have 3 rows of our data. For temperature, it is not present. San Diego, it will keep it as similar to our left. It will keep it as null for San Diego on temperature. Hope everybody is understanding this part, right? Okay, now outer join will basically do what? Outer join will basically do what? Okay, so outer join will basically go ahead and give you, wait, one question. Which of city do you think if I have an outer join? Outer join means all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. all the distinct cities: New York, Chicago, Orlando, Baltimore, and San Diego. Okay, and wherever data is present, it will pick it up. Wherever it is not present, it is going to keep it as null over here. Understood up to this point, everyone? And I know I'll complicate this after this one. Okay, now come to the complications. Okay, so now let us, I think I have already placed it to you guys now. Okay, now let us go ahead and complicate this. Any type of join you pick up, let it be inner, left, outer, whatever it is, right? Okay, now I want you guys to understand this part. DF1 is this, DF2 is this, okay? Wait, I'll first copy the data for that merge. Any type of join, okay? So let me just take the default join, that is inner. Okay, now look at the data now first. DF1 contains what? New York, only one record is present. New York, in the other table, there are 2 records for New York over here. Okay, a simple question for the people who have already worked on SQL. For New York, how many rows of data is it going to pull up? Any type of join. Is it going to be 2 rows or a single row with the latest value?
2.
1,
Sure?
I think.
One.
Single row.
1.
Latest.
Okay, it is an inner join. New York is present in both the tables. But here only 1 record is present. On the other hand side, we have 2 records for New York. How many records of New York will I have over here?
1 record, because city is a primary key, right?
Yeah, it's
Three,
common.
all 3.
But this is not doing a qualify, no? There is nothing like that as a qualify. It will not pick up the
So
biggest
3
value.
records, sir.
2
records.
records. No, 2 records
3.
will be there. No, for so overall 3 records, but it will give you 2 records for New York. 21 will get mapped to first value, that is 68, and same 21 will get mapped to 58 over there. Clear, everybody? Okay, wait. What if I have, let's say, in the DF1, 2 records for New York. Okay, so 21 and 31 also I'll take. Let's see. Okay, so same this one. I'll copy this and let me paste it over here. I'll paste it over here. 21 and 31. Okay, now another complications. Okay, here 2 records for New York, 2 records for New York on the other hand side. Now first question, how many rows for New York alone? I'm not talking about for the complete data frame.
4.
For New York,
4.
exactly.
4.
There are going to be
4, sir.
4 records. 4. How come? What and all? See, 21 will first get mapped to 68. 21, 58. Then again 31, 68, 31, 58. That is what your output is going to be. Notice 21, 68, 21, 58, 31, 68, 31, 58 over here. Clear,
Sir, if
everyone?
just a question, sir, SQL only. If it was 21 year for New York again in table B, in second table DF2, if it was 21 again, then how many rows, sir? 4 only, or it will be lesser?
Then again, no more, right? So right now, and same record, duplicate record. Again, New York is again 21 means. So it will now again same 4 records itself. It will produce over here. See, 4 records. One
Okay,
row.
in table in DF2, sir. In DF2, if it is not 68 and if it is 21 new entity, then still it will be only 4.
Same. Exactly.
Okay,
Still it will be 4 itself.
21 will come twice then in the table.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay. Thanks.
Okay. So clear, right, everyone? How is it going to work? Because same concept is going to apply in your which over in your SQL also, same concept. Okay, so just try to remember these points. Okay, now one more thing here we have. This will help us to later on filter the data. I think 1 second, there's one parameter which I was indicator. 1 second, there's one indicator is equals to true, is equals to, that is true. This will give you basically what, right? So wait, I'll show you one thing. I'll just take it as a left join. Okay, so it will give you, see, this is data frame 1. Okay, and data frame 2. Okay, so data frame 2. So basically data frame 1 and data frame 2, right? So these 2 cities are only on the left hand side, not on the right hand side, correct? So but later on, what if, let's say, Orlando was present but it was null over here? Still you will have that record over there, right? So ingest it as null itself, right? So now this one column, right, so indicator, this will give you an idea from which table it is actually coming in. This thing, I think we do not have it in our SQL, correct? So directly it is not present. Yeah, you can hard code one value and then again you can bring it out. But again, directly it is not present. Here it is present. Then later on you can actually capture, then again filter the data where the merge is equals to both. Na? This type of filter you can go ahead and you can do it. But again, you have one more option over here to help us to find out. Left only, right only, in both it is present. Like that you can go ahead and you can give it over here. Clear? Okay, see, left only, both data frames it is present, right only, this type of records you can go ahead and you can filter it over here. Okay, now I'm just thinking 1 second. I don't want to start with a new topic now. I want to just to work on
What
this
is the
joint
use of that indicator? I didn't get that.
indicator is, see, now for an example, it is like this, Bhavna. Here you will create one column. It will tell you that, hey, this data is present on the left hand side table. This data is present on the right hand side, right? So later, let's say you have a task. You need to pull out the data or pull out the data where only humidity data is present when this is not present. In that type of filter, you need to do it. That you can do it over here, right? See, right only I can, now if this is my data frame, right? So dot over here, I can go ahead and after this one, I can go ahead and I can filter the data, correct? So for this particular data, underscore merge is equals to this itself. If I give, I'll have only the data which is present on the right hand side. That type of filter I can do it, right? So that will be helpful. That's it. Okay, I'll show it. I'll do it and I'll show you. Sorry. DF is equals to this one. This is combined data frame. You have a data frame which contains this column, correct? Now I need to only pinpoint, fill or extract the data where, which is what? Which is present on the right hand side itself, right? So that is where humidity data is present and we do not have the temperature record for this. That is for
So
an
here
example,
merge left
Santiago.
only means that row came from left table. Is that what the
Exactly,
meaning?
left table, yes.
Okay.
Both means from both the tables, this Chicago
Both
is
the
present.
tables. Okay.
Right only means San Diego is present only on the right hand side. Now I can go ahead and filter. See, like this easily, it will be easy for us to filter the data. See, like this, you can filter the records later on.
Right. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now we'll do one thing. We'll work on a simple task and then we'll come back. But if I had a table.
Sir, I have a request actually. See, I know like all of us are newbies here, but typically when you get into real projects or real deal, it's a little different or rather very different related to what we are trying to do. So I know I'm just trying to bite a lot into which I might not be able to chew, but is it possible to just show us how a workspace is organized and a real world example could be a open source GitHub repository is also okay. Now we are having data on for our worksheets, as in like whatever we're doing right now for creating the data frames, we are having sample data. But in parallel, if it's all right, maybe in the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes in each class, if you can just show us a real project, how it looks like, how our files are organized, like where do you actually write code, how do you deploy those sorts, that will be really helpful.
That right now it will be difficult, yeah. Why? Because first thing is you need to have a clarity on the functions. Then once we go to the project, right? So then it will make sense. But for learning, if I take a bigger data set and again if we jump into the project now, then it will be very, very difficult.
Okay. No problem. That was just a suggestion,
Yeah,
but
that eventually you have to do it. That eventually even Tutort will do it. But again, right now for learning, the smaller data set, it is very easy for us to understand. That's right.
the reason is, you get this illusion that Python is easy.
Okay.
Eventually, like when the real deal comes, then you're lost. So that is why I was a little skeptical. So no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to. Anyhow, I'm trying to pull to real-time scenarios so that you actually have a confidence. But yeah, let's see, huh?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
wait.
Thank
Let me prepare some data. Wait. Okay, so let me prepare some data so that this. Okay, I'm not going to start any new topics. Just one small task. We'll do it, and then we'll call it for the day. Okay. Let's say we have two columns in DF1. I'll have employee ID and let's not take department right now. Let's take let's say the names of the employees. Names of the employees. Okay, so let's say we have employee ID, EMP_1. Okay, I'll just take EMP_2. I'll put in some 4 to 5 employees so that 4 and let's say EMP_5. We'll take our names. Let's say this. Let's say over here Anita. I'll take 1, 2, 3. 4 and one more name I'll take. Let's say over here I'll take okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. DF1 contains this data. Imagine this case, guys. Okay. But an actual working would have been if we are working in SQL tables. But again, but just for us to quickly learn, I have an idea about this one. Okay. So DF1 contains the employee ID and then the names of those employees. Okay. And DF2, I'll change this one. Let's say DF2 contains what and what. Let's say DF2 contains employee ID. Okay. Employee ID. And I'll keep employee IDs later on. Now, and the department each employees are working on. Okay, so department each employees are working on. Okay, for an example, let's say EMP_1 are working on. Let's say this type of employees are shared resources, something like that, right? So are working on, let's say, same employees is working on development as well as the same employees is working on. For an example, I know this is not an actual case, but again, employee 1, same employee is working on 2 departments. Similarly, let's say over here, EMP_2 is, let's say, working on a single department. Let's say production support, right? So we'll just keep BRD. Okay, now let's say over here we have, let's say, employee 3 is also working on, let's say, 2 departments. Let's say she's working as an HR and let's say, what all departments? Marketing, I'll take. Just for an example, okay? Marketing. Employee 3 is working on 2 departments. Employee 3 is working on 2 departments. Okay, now, now I'm sharing this data in the chat box. There's a question now out here. So this is DF1 and this is DF2. Okay, what I want you guys to do is simple. I want to have a single data frame. That is, I want the employee ID of the person, the name of the person, as well as the department which this particular person is working into. But I don't want all the employees. So for an example, see, employee 4 and employee 5 are also present, right? So in this type of data, I want what? I want this type of data. So basically, I want, so this, imagine this case. These 2 employees just now joined the company. These people are still in the bench period. The department is not yet assigned, for an example, right? So I want only those employees who are working in the departments. Okay, I want this type of data. If the employee is working in multiple departments, awesome, no worries. Have multiple records, multiple rows for them. Give me the code that will give me this particular data frame. Only for the employees who are working. Question number 1. Okay, 1 second. Then question number 2. Question 2. Okay, so task 1. This is task 1. Task 1. Okay. Okay. Task 2 is also present. Wait, I'll give you this one. Task 2 is help me to extract the names of the employees who are in bench. Simple case. 2 tasks. How you do it in Pandas? Your wish. Anyone over here who is completely fresh to programming languages? Not even Java, not even C you guys have worked. Not even SQL as well. Umang.
Yeah, me
Can you
also,
please show the
Kaushal.
syntax of merge?
Syntax of merge. I'll paste it
You
on
can
here.
just copy paste it, guys.
In the chat box. Okay.
Thank
Along
you.
with Umang, anyone else? Okay. Forget about
Yeah.
SQL. Let's count the people who are worked in SQL as non-technical. Neither C, neither Java. First time Python.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
first time Python only.
myself also,
Umang,
Kaushal.
First time.
Kushal,
Yeah.
Nipan,
Come on.
Yeah,
Arun,
even me, I'm first time.
Harshit as well. Okay. Okay. Asif as well. At least SQLs you guys might have, some people might have worked, right, over here. Harshita as well first time. No other language, but first time in Python. Okay. Kushal.
Sir, could you please tell me the task two who are in
Task two
bench?
is names of those employees who are in bench. So see, Arunima and Bhavina, their departments is not yet assigned. The employee underscore 4 is not yet present over there, right? So the
Okay.
names of those employees over there. That's
Okay,
it.
okay, yeah.
Okay. How's this topic, guys? For the people who are learning this for the first time, this pandas and all, is it interesting, confusing, lost somewhere?
It
No,
is
it is
interesting.
interesting, but like it is quite big and vast.
Yeah, it is quite big and vast, right? Because
Yeah.
here it is actually at least small things, but again, once group by pivot, everything gets involved, right? That time more complexity comes into picture. Need more practice. Practice you require a lot. Arunima. Task 1 and task 2. Try it out. How you do it? So first is inner join, simple solution. DF2, how did you do it? So first thing is merge this, kept the indicator on, then you did a left join, then left only is equals to true. Yes, you have filtered the data later on. Awesome. Individual class that will help. Revision class for pandas, because pandas topics are not yet covered, Harshita. For pandas or for Python, core Python?
Actually, like once we practice a lot, then it will be more comfortable to it.
Exactly.
So what was the problem statement of task 1? Sorry.
Problem statement is simple. Basically, give me a combined data frame for the employees who are working. So basically, whose data is present in both the tables. If they are, if any particular employee is working in multiple departments, awesome, no worries. But I have two different rows. But I want these three columns in my output.
Got it. Thanks.
Yes, we'll plan something, Harshita. Let's see.
Hey, one thing. You task two, you're saying name of employee who are on bench, right? But in both the tables, we are not mentioning bench anywhere. Did I miss it?
Yes, bench means what? So, whose department is not assigned.
Okay, okay, okay,
You
okay.
got it now? No?
Now I got it. Idea, I got it. Correct. Thanks.
Okay, okay. Okay, so let us see. I'll copy any one of you guys' code, guys. Okay, let me just copy and paste it. Let me copy Anita's code. So this one, Verge. By default, it is an inner join. Awesome. You'll have this as an inner join. And you'll have, if any employee is working in multiple departments, so you'll have two different departments for that. Awesome. This is task one. There's nothing complicated over here. But again, for task two, let me copy any one of you guys' code, right? So let's say over here, I'll copy this one. First, okay, so this is one of the method where you did what? Left join all the employees from the left hand side as well as the common elements from the middle, right? And then again, you kept the indicator on, and then again later on filtered this particular data with only with the merge where it is what? So the basically only with the filter over here, right? So that is how you have actually done it. Okay, so awesome. So this will also work fine, right? So perfect. So this is one of the method for us to solve it. I think that, but in an SQL query, we filter the data with null, right? So let me do that solution also over here. Because just to tell you that this is not the only solution. You have multiple solutions also. Okay, so df.bench of filter. But again, this concept I'll try to cover in the next class. Okay, that is underscore df of bench underscore merge is the column, right? So underscore merge and not underscore merge. That is department. DEP department. Where is the department? Column name dot is null. Okay, so this topic I'll cover in null, right? Is null. I'll cover in the next slide. But again, this is also one of the method to just to replicate the same thing which we do it in our SQL, right? So like this also you can go ahead and you can filter the data. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Let us continue the remaining topics in the next class, guys. Okay, what all things? Many things I'll try to cover. I'll try to cover sorting. That is nothing but order by in case of SQL. I'll try to cover replace as a function because there are many things in replace as well which we can learn. Then group by, and then finally I'll try to cover pivot tables. If any subtopics, here I can even put in handling null values. These are the topics I'll try to cover in the upcoming in the next class, guys. Okay, then we'll be done with our pandas.
Afra, I have one question regarding the solution. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
the assumption here is that your left table, all the data on the left table they are assigned to some or the other project. That is the assumption being made, correct?
Correct.
So we assume that because we see this data, we are able to assume that all of the people are assigned to certain project. If that assumption is made, only that solution will work, no?
Yes, of course. So or else let's say some other scenario, but again, that is why domain knowledge is required. So let's say if you are working in this type of data, and let's say over here, no, the department is assigned, but a dummy department is assigned, right? So at that type of scenario also, you can then simply go ahead and join this and again filter out the data with the dummy department. So you need to first have an idea about the data, only then you can play around with any EDA.
Okay. Because so we are taking left that we are making an assumption that the left table can be taken as the master copy.
Main tab, exactly. And even an assumption that okay, employee ID is the only key column also. Hey, one more part. Sorry, I missed to tell this part, guys. Okay, sorry, I don't have this type of data with me. Like in our SQL, not just one column, right? If you guys know, we join this with multiple columns also, na? So here you can pass multiple column underscore two like this if you have, right? So you can even pass multiple columns also for the joins. Okay, if you have that type of scenario, not just one column, multiple columns also is possible. That's just remember this point over here. Okay, then I'm going to stop the class. Let us continue this in the next class, guys. Okay, so before I stop, any questions?
I have one question. This is in 187 cell, right? We did this is null. We could have used query also, right? That we just learned.
You can use that, but is null is also one of an easier method to pull out the null values inside my data.
So in query, how we write the none? It should be nan, or I should type Python none to match it.
It is null. It is okay. If it is, you have converted this into a string now, then nan. But for us to match it, it is df dot is null is the function that will help you to pinpoint it. But this I'll do it in handling null values over here in depth.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay then, guys. So thanks for everyone.
Yeah,
Great.
I have one question. Can we read a SQL table into a Pandas data frame?
Yeah, that also is possible. Wait, I'll show you which function can you use over there.
Okay, there also do we need to give the JDBC all those details, or how it works?
PD dot read SQL. See, read SQL is an option over here which is present, and the answer is yes. But the connection details you can go ahead and you can provide. But we usually don't use this, Anita. What we can do now, so there are multiple options. Okay, so that complete table itself, right? So if you put it up over here, it will be directly put up as a form of a data frame. Okay. So let's say in an SQL query itself, while passing the filter condition and again bringing it up as well, right? I think you can actually do this. There's one more function. Read SQL and read SQL queries. SQL query is also present. See?
Okay.
SQL table is also present for our connection, for our schema, etc. Everything, and we can pass everything. These are the connection details for their database.
Okay, usually this connection details, everything will pass through this environment file or something, right? Here also we can now do the same thing.
Exactly. Yes, you can do it. You can do it.
So, what is the major difference between this Pandas data frame and PySpark data frame, except the distribution part?
Except the distribution, there's no other differences. Only the syntaxes for us to add the columns, filter the data, and all right. Those syntaxes will change because that is a completely different data frames altogether. And in the case, right? So see, I usually use PySpark data frames. Data science team people, right? So these people use Pandas data frame because most of the ML models accept the data as a form of an Pandas data frame itself. That is the problem. So these people use this, but again, I'm working as a data engineer. I rarely use Pandas, so I use PySpark itself most of the time. Okay, because there are more options, right? So you can distribute the data, you can collage, you can repartition it. Most of these options are present. But in Pandas, if you see, everything is a single machine boot. So that's a problem.
Yeah. So majorly used in the ML part.
Yes, Pandas is, but yeah, as a data science career perspective, it is used over there.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
So this one, the pd.merge above one. Just for example, you mentioned the last one. Last class.
Yeah, this one. Let's say what I wanted to tell us. See, we do
when
this
you
now.
execute, when you
It will
execute,
throw an error. It will throw an error. This is just for an example I gave. So select t1 dot star we do from the table as that is t1, and again join this table underscore 2 as, let's say, t2. Then again we pass multiple columns in an SQL query, right? So that is t1 dot column underscore 1, then is equals to t2 dot column underscore 2. Then again one more column also we include, right? So t1 dot some other column, right? So this option also is present, but only changes over here you will be providing in the form of a list over. That's it. This is just an example I give. You can pass multiple columns as well. Okay then, guys, see you guys too in the next week. Have a great week ahead. Bye everyone.
Sir, I pasted one solution for the task 2. Is it correct?
Let's see, what have you done over here? One second, let me share my screen. What did you do? So df underscore join. Okay, this is the data after the join, right? Then
Yes.
dot unique. Then okay. Yeah. This is also one of the method, right? So then again, go ahead and filter this data with this one. This also you can do it.
Okay.
There are same thing, na? Multiple solutions we have. Like this also I can do it like this, and this one as well.
Okay, sir.
Okay then. Okay then, guys. Bye everyone. Bye.
Okay, thank you everyone.